I just finished one of the rooms downstairs. It's all coated, but I have to go down and sand it. Now, if you've ever wondered what's inside the wall in a motel, I'm going to show you. This is, let me get the camera right, a resilient channel. And you can see this has movement here because only down here is screwed to the stud. And the drywall does not fasten to the stud. It fastens here, which minimizes the transfer of the sound between the rooms. Also, as you notice, the walls are insulated with fiberglass insulation. And what this stuff does is, because the screws of the drywall are not going right into the stud, there's less vibration because this helps dissipate the vibration. If the stud goes right, or the screw goes right into the stud, then what happens is there's vibration through the stud. There's more vibration. There still could be a small amount here, but not near as much. And so the drywall is fastened to that. And, you know, this wall has the plumbing for the bathroom on the other side. And same thing, you know, the resilient channel, and everything is insulated there. This room, they didn't get quite hung. I don't know why. Possibly they ran out of board, because I would have been in here working on this. And these up here, these soffits, are because they run pipes through there. I think that was for the sprinkler system. And they actually use metal up there for the framing. It's not wood. And let's see if I could find a piece of here. So it's just a little, actually it's just an angle, piece of angle metal. And then because it's metal up in there, we use this type of corner bead. You've probably seen this type of corner bead here that nails on. This is, we stick this on with compound. And most of these rooms are 24 feet long. So it takes 3 of these, because these are the 8-footers. And let me see if I can get this in a better light here. I'll show you a little better. See, it's paper over metal. So it's still a metal corner bead, but we use compound to stick that on there because you can't nail into that because it's metal framing. So that's how that goes together. Now, all the walls have insulation in them, whether they are interior or exterior. Unlike your home, that the insulation would only be used on the exterior walls. These are used all around because it helps prevent sound from traveling between the rooms. And this room over here, looks like the wind blew the door open. I'm trying to keep it warm. I started working on this a little bit yesterday, getting the mesh tape on and coating the screws. I had a piece of mesh tape on the wall right up here fall off. I was surprised because this stuff has adhesive on it that's supposed to keep it on the board, but for some reason it fell off. And one of the things that I do is I found, you know, it doesn't take real long, is to coat these screws in the corner. You don't really have to, but it's better, because what happens if you don't, when you tape that, the tape will kind of sink in at those spots. And then when you coat that, when you coat the corner, you can tend to have little dips in there. So just for a quick once around to put some compound on the screws in the corner too, you know, just makes it a whole lot better. You know, I noticed, you know, that when I have, after I put the tape on and let that dry and then I coat the angles, I don't have those dips. And also, I will put, where am I? Little compound right here where the factory seams come into this. Because if you're trying to put paper tape on there and, you know, fill that, it's just, you're gonna have so much shrinkage in here that you're gonna have another dip. I mean, granted, when you coat these seams here, it's gonna kind of fill, but it's better to have that filled before you tape. And that's one of the little things that I've learned, and I can see that my mesh tape is falling down again right there. I brought a broom in here and swept the floor, and I used that to push it back up there, but I may have to just push it back up there and just put a little bit of compound on the edge of it. Now, mesh tape was made to be used on factory seams only. And these are the seams that recess. This little area recesses in the board, it dips in. So when we put compound on there, you know, it's not coming out too far and we can get this flat. And it's made to be used with Durabond. You can paper tape the factory seams, and that's good too. But when you use mesh tape, you want to use Durabond on them only. On the butt joints, which would be like up here, where the ends of the board come together, paper tape. What happens is, if you use mesh tape, it'll crack. Because the mesh tape doesn't hide the crack. If you use paper tape up there, it'll still crack, but it'll crack under the tape, and you'll never see it on the surface. And that's one reason you always want to use paper tape in the inside angles also. I've seen videos of guys who put mesh tape up there and coat that and claim it's okay because you're using Durabond on it. Not true. I use USG products, United States Gypsum, and I know full well that if you have a problem with that, they're not going to guarantee it. And if you get a company, drywall company, that does that, and they're using mesh tape anywhere else other than the factory seams, you don't want them. A lot of these guys, I see these kids that come and start working, young guys, they don't know a lot of this stuff. They're not tradesmen. The old tradesmen know these things about drywall and what to do, what tape to use where and whatnot. You can use paper tape everywhere. It's never wrong to use paper tape on everything. And I actually prefer to use paper tape on the factory seams. But the way the materials were delivered here, if I only used paper tape on everything, I'd run out of paper tape before I got done. And I got more to bring up here. Yeah, we got a lot of materials downstairs, and they deliver setting compound, and that's it's actually called Easy Sand. Our company never used it a long time ago, but they've started to, because I guess a lot of guys complain, but they say, I don't know if they, I don't, somebody said they weren't really having problems with it, but that's what's being used now by a lot of companies, even though that's not the best. But it's still good because it is a setting compound and you're going to get a nice hard surface on that tape. And then once that goes on, then there's 2 more coats that goes over that. So that's basically drywall in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.